when people realize that they deserve so much more, and that it is by design that we are stressed out and living with trauma right now, but when people realize that they deserve so much more and we can accomplish so much more if we work together, they start getting to work.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, good evening everyone. I'm Jonathan Green. You may know me, a lot of you familiar faces. Good to see you, thank you for coming out tonight. I appreciate Representative Angie Nixon for getting this gathering and town hall together for us this evening. And I thank St. John Devon, Pastor Marshall, and the church family there for allowing the community to have this as a space, a safe space for open communication and dialogue, and all the community members who are here and not here who have a voice in the community, which is everyone, so it's important that we are here to support each other. Without further ado, I want to let you know that tonight is about listening. Tonight is about dreaming and problem solving together. So Angie is here, not just to talk, but to hear from you, to carry your voices forward throughout our state, resonating here in Pensacola. So, quick overview of the agenda today. We're going to have opening words from Ms. Nixon, as well as a little icebreaker to kind of ground us where we are today, and a little energy builder, so that way we can collaborate on, one, you honing your ideas in a way of how you want to share them, and then a process for us to share those ideas and that safe space to be able to communicate them without feeling attacked. So we do ask kind of just some housekeeping items. Don't interrupt people while they speak. Give others the same respect you wish to be shown. So ask yourself, what does respect look like to you? And display that toward others. And if there are points that you want to make, you can take notes. Please save those aspects for when it is your turn to speak, so you can bring those additional aspects up in the points you would like to make when it is your turn to speak. But we would like everyone to have their voice heard. And like I said, this is for us to listen in a way for Ms. Nixon to carry our voices forward. So just kind of a last couple things on the agenda. We'll have, after that Energizer activity, we'll have a reflection to kind of wrap up those thoughts as a whole collective, and we'll have some closing words and just kind of wrap up and have a time to just mix and mingle, exchange numbers if you don't already know someone, or if there are ideas we can collaborate on. So without further ado, I do want to welcome Ms. Representative Angie Nixon.
So I wish I had everything out my chin. That food was good, and I ain't really eat anything too much. So first of all, I just want to say thank you all for coming out. It is Tuesday, almost the middle of the week. You do not know me at all, and you all are here, so I really appreciate it. I also want to say thank you to Jonathan for helping to organize this space. I really appreciate it. And of course, thanks to the folks over at St. John Devon Church for opening this space. And whoever cooked the food, that was really
Lisa
good.
Pro Egg Rolls.
Thank you. Thank you. So we appreciate you. I want to give a shout out to Commissioner May for stopping by as well. Thanks for coming in. So who am I? Why are you here? I am State Representative Angie Nixon. I am representing District 13, located in Jacksonville, Florida, Duval County. Exactly. Duval, exactly.
King Road,
Exactly. Exactly. And so I have been a community organizer for over 15 years here in the state and in the South. So I was born and raised in Northwest Jacksonville. I am the product of a union member, so I'm a union baby. My mom was a union member for CWA with CWA. My dad is a veteran. He was in the Army. I have an older brother. Shout out to all the veterans in the room, as well as the union members.
We take that too.
Yes. And so I am a wife. I am a mother of 5. Yes, 5. In all honesty, I only birthed 2 of them.
Okay.
But it's still 5 of them in the house, and there's a line going on. Okay, so they range from 18 to 5 years old. And so I just recently served as the executive director of a statewide progressive coalition, the largest progressive coalition in the state called Florida for All. I am also a small business owner. After Ron DeSantis decided to ban books, I decided to open up a bookstore.
Very good.
In response to that. So I'm just super excited to be here with you all. And so I am traveling across the state of Florida because I know oftentimes in counties like these, you don't get to hear from your state officials. You don't get to speak to them and let them know what some of your concerns are. And so as an organizer, I know the importance of people power, right? And the fact that those who represent us should be listening to us, right? Because at the end of the day, we work for y'all. Like, I don't know if y'all realize it, but we work for y'all, and so y'all should be y'all should be holding us accountable, and we should be listening to you all and getting the things that you all need and so desire. And so traveling across the state of Florida has been very, very interesting. But before I get to that, just a little bit more about myself. So one of the reasons that I decided to get involved in community organizing and involved in the community and politics in general is because I was born in a predominantly black side of town in Northwest Jacksonville, and wanted to go to my neighborhood schools, which all of my family members went to. But I'll never forget that my mom told me she didn't want to make the same mistake she made with my brother. I did not understand what she meant at the time, but I wound up having to go across town, waking up at 5-something in the morning in elementary school to catch a bus at 6-something so that I could be at school at like 7:30, 7:45 to make sure that I was at school on time. And so looking back on that, I realized that my mom decided to bus me across town because those neighborhood schools didn't have some of the same resources and opportunities that more affluent sides of town had. And so I learned a lot and, met a bunch of different diverse people and was exposed to a bunch of different things. And so my cousin, though, on the other hand, my favorite cousin, Briar, he wound up going to neighborhood schools. And when he got older, he got into a little trouble and got sent to an alternative school where he learned some alternative things. And so fast forward, I wound up graduating from the University of Florida, and my cousin, who got into trouble, wound up getting funneled into the school or prison pipeline and getting in trouble, going back and forth to jail and that type of thing. And what's interesting though is he got in trouble in high school for doing some of the same things that they did in my high school, but because I went to a Stanton College preparatory high school, which was #1 in the nation at the time, they only gave those kids a slap on the wrist. Because of course, the best and brightest shouldn't be getting in trouble, right? So we can't mess up their reputation. So again, fast forward, graduated from the University of Florida, and about a little over a year after I graduated, my cousin had a friend who stayed the night at his house, and then they wound up playing, like, I don't know if it was craps or either like a card game. My cousin won. His friend got upset and said, "Oh man, give me my money back." My cousin said, "No, I'm not gonna give you your money back. I won fair and square." And so they got into it, and long story short, my cousin's friend shot and killed him.
Oh, Jesus.
And so, as I stood in front of the folks at my cousin's funeral, when I was speaking about my cousin, I looked in the audience and I saw my cousin's son. And I also looked in the audience and I saw my daughter. And I made a vow then and there that I was not going to allow my daughter to have to bury her favorite cousin the same way that I was having to bury my cousin right then and there. And so I decided to get involved and to really advocate for public education to ensure that all public schools, right, had the opportunity to allow those children to have the resources that they need so that they can compete in a global economy, right? And so that is why I started getting involved in advocacy. And so I'm traveling across the state on my Awake the State tour because Floridians can't keep waiting for things to get better someday. There's currently people in power right now that are saying they want to make America great again and they want to take us back to the good old days.
Yeah.
But the days weren't good.
Yes, exactly. But the reality of it is that the good old days weren't good enough for all of us.
All right. They weren't.
For women, we ain't have the right to vote. We also couldn't have credit cards or have jobs.
That's right.
For black people, some of the good old days that they seemingly want to take us back to, we were only considered 3/5 a person, right? And so those are not the type of good old days that I want to see, right? And then right now we have seniors who work their whole entire lives and can't even get the much deserved rest because they can't afford to live. And then we're witnessing young people who are watching the quote unquote American dream go further and further out of their reach. And so I'm traveling the state and I'm here today because change can't wait.
No.
And I believe it is now the time for us to start organizing and working together to build a new vision. One that has never existed before. One where every family has stability, every worker has dignity, and everyone has the opportunity to be healthy, to be prosperous, to be safe, to experience a little bit of joy every now and then. Do y'all realize that, like, there are people who are basically running this country and funding the campaigns of the folks who are running this country who get upset if we only want to work one job?
Why would you want to?
What's wrong with us only having to work one job and being able to survive? One of our newest neighbors, Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, right? A billionaire, right? Stinking rich. Doesn't even want his employees to have a living wage. Doesn't want them to make $20 an hour. Gets upset if they take more than 2 restroom breaks during their shift. But you just threw a $50 million wedding and we have some of our neighbors living on the streets. That should be a problem for us. That's not the America that we deserve. And so I'm traveling across the state, letting people know that we deserve so much more. And like letting folks know that the money Ron DeSantis is using to throw up raggedy tent cities down in Alligator Alley to kidnap our neighbors without due process, that's our money that should be funding better infrastructure projects. That's our money that should be funding public schools. That's our money that should be expanding Medicaid.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Half a million. Can you imagine if we elected people who actually push people's budgets? Budgets that we want to see? Can you imagine how the crime rate would go down? And how people wouldn't be so stressed out and angry and fighting? Right? Can you imagine if people had enough money to just live and eat? Like, it's just, oh my God.
Yes.
Right? And so I'm going across the state letting folks know that we deserve more. And so I am here also to like take your stories. And I want to hear from you all. Like, what are you really concerned with? Because clearly, like, the folks in Tallahassee, them Republicans that's been running this state for 30 years, they saying we good. They saying it's the free state of Florida and it's never been better. Right? And so I'm taking y'all stories and listening to you all, and I like to be the voice of the people to let them know that what they say is happening really ain't that. And so what we're gonna ask you all to do is to like break up in groups of 3 and that type of stuff. And I see you all are kind of like at tables, right? And so this is actually a working session because I'm an organizer and I like to like get y'all to work a little bit. But I want you all to talk about like what is it that you're concerned with? What is it that you want to see change? So that I can take that back, right? And we can work, and then also after we talk about that, we're gonna talk about how we can actually possibly change it. What are some policy changes you wanna see? So that I can then take that back and work to fight for them, right? And so, yeah. So can we do that? Are y'all down? I know y'all probably didn't expect this to be this way, but welcome to organizing and awaken the state, okay? And so we're going to adjust the agenda a little bit and like go ahead and just break off in groups. And so I want to give you all 10 minutes. So it's 6:39 now. So if we can come back at 6.
Which, exactly. So these are backed up. So you're saying hey, you need to go to school every day and you need to go to counseling. Because sometimes their counseling's online. Lakeview is, I'm pretty sure. I don't know.
Because most prisons are for profit.
Oh, yeah.
For profit.
Yeah.
Because people are
Those lists are about
Okay,
be involved, engaged in a service that you don't have the room for.
Wait a minute, so we're going back to the prisons. We want to get, okay.
The juvenile justice, like criminal justice laws for juveniles just needs to be reformed. There's just no room for them to be like humans that learn it, like you make most mistakes in childhood, I would say. Yeah, they just don't, there's no appropriate like interventions for kids. There's no services in Pensacola specifically. You know, our local government is concerned with reimagining downtown Pensacola, you know. So
That's all.
they don't care about anything that happens inside of Halifax. They don't care about Warrington or anything like that. Right. And you're one street.
Maybe they're spending the money.
We want no for-profit prisons and want felonies to still be able to vote.
Yeah.
If you have a felony. You can be president of the United States with 34 charges and a sexual assault. Yeah.
You should be able to vote.
Everybody else with a felony should be able to vote.
That's fine? Oh, yeah, they finally got the vote.
Oh yeah, they got it. Yeah, I saw that.
One man voted against, and they got to put it on.
He's going to watch this.
Oh, it's been so redacted.
Oh yeah.
I got in touch with the people and they say, yes, it's been sent out, but it's up to the prison where they want to distribute it. So not only is the prison system a multi-million-dollar business in itself, but for the inmates, in order for them to have the shoes, tennis shoes, socks, any stuff, anything, making telephone calls, anything like that. I mean, they're charged the families, because we're the ones that help support them. They're charged outrageous prices just for something simple. A bag of chips ain't got no business costing no $10.
Well, that money goes back to the prison.
Yeah, okay, so yeah. So I mean, it's just crazy the way that they do it once they get them in there. You know, the way that they do it, they treat them. Yeah. So that's with that for the vendors, because I do believe that these are private vendors that are set up, because when you do it, you have to do it on a website. When you order stuff, it has to be on the website, you know, and they're the ones that's responsible for getting it to the prison for the inmates or whatever. But if I could order something off of Amazon to send to him, like a book or something like that, and pay a regular price for it, why can't I order him some food or whatever, some clothing from Amazon to have it sent? Now they'll let me send him a book, but everything else has to come through this corrections department or this corrections website where they charge these crazy prices. So again, that's just another way of just, you know, keeping the people down. You know, it's just another way of making us pay more for everything. And believe it or not, we do. We do as a minority. We pay more for everything. We've had the houses, the cars, everything. Everything. Yes, yes.
You can't even treat your
My main concern is the equity. Everybody wants to look at Finland for the educational model. Finland is a homogeneous society. Finland has no private schools at all. So the standards across the country for everybody, all of the teachers have the same credentials. So there's no racism, there's no hierarchy. So it's 100% equity. So my concern, I mean, already you look at there's disparities here between the schools that have military families getting more money.
We're gonna give y'all 4 extra minutes.
Not a problem. I understand they need to be supported.
Yes.
However, everybody needs that type of support.
That's right.
So, all of the schools need to be funded equitably. I mean, of course, we can pay teachers more, but everyone needs the same amount of resources. They've got to stop earmarking crazy stuff. Like they'll give me maybe, they'll say, okay, here's $700. I'm like, oh my gosh, but you can only spend it on da-da-da-da-da.
Wow.
I don't even need that. I need this money for something else. So having that,
Opportunity for learning. So if someone says something you don't agree with, we want to use this as a space to gain understanding as to why the thought is, and also understand that a person's thoughts don't change overnight. The same way you believe what you believe, they're not going to convince you of their idea. So just be patient as we grow.
Okay, fine.
So, can we make this table number 1?
Well, do you really want to start here? But we don't have a problem.
Yes, we can.
Not a problem. Let's start right now. Yes, ma'am. Come right on here. We ready. Now you got real talkers at this thing. You all got real talkers.
Let us know who you are, what area or city you're in.
Okay, and I'm over the garden, and I'm from right off Woodland Heights, 32503, right down the street in Sacred Heart Hospital. I've been here since I was about 12 years old. I've attended the nice public schools here in Escambia County that sometimes are a bit deficient, but I didn't come here lacking, so it didn't really matter. I'm married, I have children that did in fact attend these schools. I have a son that had a learning disability, and they let him go through 2nd to 6th grade and didn't teach him to read. I told him he couldn't read. And about the 10th grade, he kind of fell off and went to an alternative school. So I had, a little crow on my side. At any rate, the other children of mine managed to graduate. They've all left this area because there's not a lot of opportunity here. The wages are low. You finish college, it's hard to find a job unless you're working in certain areas. And I've done nursing here. I was a nurse, well I am a nurse, 51 years. Went to work for North Bearcraft on base and worked for Ryco Chemical. So I'm kind of well-rounded. However, and then our issues. So we started out with some simple things. We decided that the working wage here in Escambia County is deficient. Unless you have 2 or 3 of these jobs back to back, there's no way you can afford an apartment unless you're on subsidized housing. And that's not supposed to be the American way.
That's right.
Okay. You should, you know, they say it's $14 now and it'll be $15 in 2026, and that still isn't enough to get in the apartment. Okay. So in ghetto, you can't get in the ghetto for $15 as a single person. And if you happen to need more than 1 bedroom, we have a real issue. Okay, that's one of them. Okay, our second issue was criminal justice, and it has to do, it needs reforming. We say there's no appropriate intervention programs, that our young children get caught up. They may have mental issues, problems. They're sitting in school. The counselors are not reaching out and giving them the help they need. So it's kind of a circle. They just go around and around in a circle until you trot them off to prison. And that was not our purpose for sending our kids to school. That's not what we expected to get. Okay. And then also, we also went on into mental health issues. And this is a real, if you just look around on the street, all these homeless people that you see out here, do you really think these people want to live on the street, on the sidewalk, and sleep? So we know there's some mental health issues, but this is just not, this includes the veterans too, because there's a lot of veterans out here. And people that have protected and supported and defended our Constitution of the United States, there's no way in the world they should be living on the street. And I mean, there are programs out there for the veterans, but if everybody is not created equal. I hate to tell y'all, everybody can't read and write on the same level. Everybody doesn't have somebody to advocate for them. And sometimes if you're a small voice and you have nobody to advocate for you, then you kind of get lost. And we need to stop losing our citizens. Because you see, one day if you keep living, you're going to be grown. And I'm grown, I'm 71 years old. But see, right now I can speak, but if I should have a problem, so I got some folks that will advocate for me. See, everybody doesn't have that. Right. See, so that's just something to, you know, today you're where you are. Tomorrow is not promised to us, to any of us in this same state. And from a personal level, I say we have a police problem here. If you have an issue and you need to reach out, now, like I was telling them, I've never even had a speeding ticket, but I would hesitate to call the police. I had an issue in my home with a family member. Person had PTSD, they were really going off, but I was afraid to call the police for fear that they would come in and shoot and kill that family member. See, so there's no oversight committee. There used to be one, they said at some point, there used to be an oversight committee here in Escambia County, and we need to reach back out and find something that will be between the police and the communities. Now, and this is especially important in the African American community, because when the police look at a young man, and I've got sons, see, they don't always see. I mean, they might let me have a pass. They might look at one of my sons because he's got his hat cocked the wrong way, or he's acting a little cocky, or he's got dreads, and decide that there's something wrong with him. There's nothing wrong with him. But see, I don't need my sons to die, or anybody's sons to die, just because you don't like the way they look.
That's right.
Okay,
That's right.
now, and last but not least, okay, school vouchers. To me, school vouchers are nothing more than you trying to figure out a way not to have little Johnny in the public schools. But you don't want to fund the public schools properly. See, now, if you buy the right books and the right computers and the right stuff and allow the teachers to have a fair wage, because the teachers are grossly underpaid.
That's right. That's
Okay,
right.
you know, grossly, the teachers have to take their money out of their pockets and buy supplies to support our children. Now, we talk about we don't want to pay extra taxes and stuff, but we need to put our money where our mouth is and do something that is going to help this next generation. Because what we've got coming ain't going to be nothing pretty. We can't have our kids least and last. And we need to give it some thought. See, I'm willing to pay additional taxes, 2 or 3%. I don't care, you know. I mean, I'm going to get my hair done and get my nails done, whatever. I can spend a little money to get what I need.
Right.
See, I'm not gonna use, I'm somebody's great grandmother. My grandkids are all hard grown, and they can support themselves and me. I made sure they're where they need to be. Now I'm working on the next generation. Those were our issues.
Thank you, group one. I just want you all to know, like, the reality of it is, there's people out here that aren't paying their fair share.
Well, okay, so then we need to get them to pay in their fair share.
Exactly.
Let's add that. I didn't want to be ugly about that. But I'm not the 1%, see. I'm retired.
Exactly.
But I'm willing to, even retired, I'm willing to do what I need to do to get what needs to happen. But now, all them folks you're talking about, they need to pay their fair share.
Yes, give it up for group one. Let's hear from group two. Who's gonna share?
And I grew up in the Warrington area, and talked about Angie talked about. And I know that I went to school at Warrington Elementary in Warrington, what was Warrington Miller, but it's now Warrington Preparatory School. It is. And it's Gambia High School. I got a good education. Now granted, I was in advanced classes, so it wasn't exactly, I didn't have to go across town to get what you got. It was in my neighborhood. So I don't understand why that's not still in the neighborhood. I don't understand now why the educational system in Gambia County has a deteriorated point where our children can't get the level of education that they were able to get before. I don't understand why there is an opportunity gap like this, like you mentioned. It's ridiculous. I mean, that you can be college educated and not come out, and come out and not be able to get the same level of job that somebody else can get. There's a lot of cronyism in this county. Let's just call it what it is.
Is that what it's called?
Yes, that's what it's called.
I know.
mean, and it's not just in this country. I was in this, when I say in this county, in the state, in the country, in other states. But I think we've seen just recently that when people organize, when people want to vote, we gotta get people back to voting.
Right.
I cannot tell you how many people told me that they did not vote in this last presidential election. Not that because they weren't excited about any candidate. Okay, like what excitement got to do with it? Let's just do what we got to do to try to make the best people get in office. I personally, and now this is not on the list, I'm sorry, now I'm on my list. I apologize. Right, but I personally am tired of seeing people elected to office who don't understand that they're here to serve the people and not serve. They're serving, if they're here to serve God and serve the people by serving God, or serve God by serving people, not to get power for themselves. Not to just represent some people who think like they think, but to represent all people within a certain area. Absolutely. I have a real problem with that. You said it best. They work for us. They don't seem to grasp that concept right now. And so I don't know. So we've got to get people voting. We've got to maybe help people get some voting rights back. We've got to get educated about what to vote for.
That's right.
And we got to start now. We can't wait till a week before the election, a month before the election, and that kind of stuff. We got to start talking about that stuff now. So I would say that's what I see. And then people need help in their homes. I work in I and most people who are highly educated but couldn't get the job that I'm qualified for because I came out of the workforce to caregive. And then when it's time to go back into the workforce and it's Gambia County, that's when I relocated. I didn't want to leave, so I was here. Well, I couldn't get one of those jobs that I was more highly qualified for, so I got my first job, and I'm still there, thank God, because I got a job at a gas station. And I was able to get a job, and I'm not going to say where at the moment, but then, ultimately because of that's a very political place to work, I wound up getting fired for, unfairly. Okay, thank God for the gas station people, because they're not here. But it has been educational, because I did ask God, why am I here? Why am I doing it? And it has been educational. I didn't understand. There's a lot of stuff that had I not been going through experiences I've gone through, I would not understand. I would not understand, like I see the same people come in every day getting cigarillos because they're trying to numb their pain. And because they don't have the opportunities, because they're not getting help they need in their homes. I've seen the middle school I went to get turned into become a constant L school, and then because the people moving to that area have changed. And then of course that's not counting people who own houses in the area, who don't live in that area, but they want to rent you a ridiculous, but rent's ridiculous because you can't afford it.
You can't afford it.
Right, but why? Why you putting marble in Warrington? We don't need marble. How about we just have some laminate, and make it affordable?
That's right.
That's not, of course, we're not talking about the fact that I get things, the insurance is higher, the taxes are higher, the cost of materials is higher. A lot of stuff has changed since the pandemic, and let's just, I'm gonna stop right there on that part. I'm sorry, but anyway. So, but gentrification is part of the problem, I think, and you know, we talked about removing Black history and changing Black history, that's the similar problem. And basically, a lot of it is about unequal compensation to helping people, the money going, people not paying their fair share. And like literally today, I had this man talk about, you know, come tell me how the current governor is trying to get property taxes taken away and and that's a great thing. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Do you not understand? I mean, I'm sorry, but I remember my history lesson that taxes are for the public good. So even if it doesn't need to be, it's like insurance in a sense. It doesn't, you know, that if it's not, that's everybody's paying their fair portion, should be fair, and that's the problem. What it takes to make us a society and a community. So those are my things. I want to see people be able to get the help that they need, because people are broken and hurt, and that's why they do what they do. And so if we can help them in their homes, then maybe we can help their children. Right. You know, and then you know, because you can only be as good a parent to your child as you are. As you, if you have to not deal with your brokenness and your problems, there's no way you can be a good parent to your children, or the kind of parent that they deserve to have, that where they can go out and be successful and not get persistent and not go to all the places. So I guess I'm just.
That's good.
Yeah, there was other stuff, but she wanted to talk.
Okay. And I'll have you beat off. Good evening, my name is Christy Simmons. And when I look at our community and our world, just like my friend, Mr. Green, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I listened to him about 12 years ago, maybe. But we got to change our idea, the idea of who we are. And the only way we can change the idea of who we are as a people is to get together and work on all our issues. Because see, the way the government is set up, it's not set up for you.
No.
I don't care if you do all the right things. It's just not set up for you. You know? It's not set up for the poor right now. It don't matter what color you are. It's not set up for the Indians, the Asian, the Mexican. No. It's not set up for you to live and prosper in America. So what we as a community need to do is work on ourselves.
That's right.
And what we need. And if you're not willing to pull together for your community, then you got what you want.
Everything. You got everything you want.
Okay.
I mean, seriously.
That is kind of, I did mention that a little bit. But you got to realize the laws, I said a little bit, are not set up for you. It's a front. We do what we want. This one over here can get off being a pedophile, and this one over here go to jail for selling marijuana.
Forever.
That's right.
Forever.
That's right.
The system is messed up.
We're jacked up.
You just have to recognize who is the law working for. You have a young white man who decides to stop a black kid from walking on the sidewalk.
Trayvon Martin.
You got something to say to him, because he don't have that right. Even if the law tells you do not approach him, do not encounter him, and you do it anyway, and you kill him, oh, they forgot to tell you, you broke the law. You approached him when the law told you not to.
That's right.
You don't get sentenced, you don't get judged. Okay, I need to hurry up.
No, that's fine.
And so everything else that y'all had is basically the same as them, is in regards to removing and changing Black history, unequal application of the law, like you stated, and us needing to make sure we look out for the elderly and disabled and the mentally ill.
Yeah, because now, when we get older, you know we're not as sharp sometimes. Some people get sharp. I do have a very sharp friend.
If not, get somebody to advocate for
But
it.
even if you go to the Social Security office to get the benefits, that word promise, they have
That's right.
permission to lie to you.
They do.
They want you to fight for it. And if you don't know how to fight and you don't have someone
To advocate for
to
you.
advocate for you,
That's right.
if you disabled, they put you on these jobs, you get hurt, you disabled.
That's right.
You ain't got no rights.
That's right.
All they do is send you home.
That's right.
You know? If you count on workman compensation,
Oh, you don't get anything.
the whole law is written in a maze.
It's written for the company.
It has something to.
You know what I'm saying? She also mentioned like voter knowledge. She mentioned that as well.
Voter knowledge?
She mentioned voter knowledge.
Yeah. Oh, she mentioned that in the beginning.
Y'all know we discouraged because we plan on this being one of many sessions, whether Ms. Nixon's here or not, organizing our community to make sure we have ongoing communication on how we tackle not only the problems we identify, but how we bring solutions. So,
Exactly. Group 3.
go ahead.
Come on, girl.
I have been voluntold.
It's fun to finally tell people what to do.
I'm Wanda Albright, spokesperson for Group 3. I am an educator. So the areas that we express concern is, one of them is Social Security. Like others, we believe that with the current administration, they are considering even changing the title from Social Security benefits to federal benefits, making it easier for them to redirect the monies. Prison reform also is a concern, which starts with police reform. Being able, as said, they were saying about police being able to go up and do anything that they can do, and then individuals end up in prison. And with prison reform, not only does that affect the prisoner, but it also affects the families that are trying to support them. We had, for example, one of our individuals have a family member in prison, and now it's a business now with that because it's privatized.
For profit.
Yeah, for-profit organization.
Yes.
And having to order food and different things from a certain website, which costs enormous.
Yeah.
Those type of things.
Yes.
As far as education, I work in education, and my concern is my program was on one of the chopping blocks. I don't know if the TRIO program. The TRIO program is you have to say federally funded program that when students get into first generation students or students with disabilities or students that are low income. It's a program to help them once they get into college, they matriculate. And it's a grant program. And so one of the contributions is they're trying to take it from federal level to state level. And our concern is, will state level be fair? You know, when money's funding at federal level, sometimes they have to go by, well, not this administration, but most administrations have to go by the law that, you know, everything is equal. But when it gets to the state, they can make their own laws of what's fair and what's not. So I'm really concerned about that because I've seen a lot of students that, and even now with this upcoming year in 26, there are going to be a lot of changes to the FAFSA requirements that are going to really eliminate some of our children that will depend on Pell Grants. So our education, one of the things that we brought up is, as far as the prison that ties to education, they utilize testing results from third graders to determine how many prisons to build. If they look at your third grader is not doing well on their test, they'll say that person is going to be in prison in so and so years, so we need to start building prisons now for that. And that is really, really a shame. Another area is housing, the cost of housing, cost purchasing. It's very, very hard to be first-time homeowners, you know, before you be able to get all kinds of credits, all kinds of discounts and whatnot. But who can even afford? And like even renting now it costs too much to even get a rent. So the areas of our concerns are Social Security, prison reform, property taxes, and one of the things that I know several people have talked about, they're trying to take away property taxes. Well, whereas the property taxes pay a lot of things, fire protection, police protection, school infrastructure upgrade. Where the money gonna come from if not? So I think a lot of in our group, a lot of us were willing to pay, continue to pay proper taxes, and as you say, even more if their monies are done right. And that's the concern is, you know, with, how is the monies being spent? Is it not being spent for the purposes that they are being pulled from? So education, property taxes, housing reform, prison, and Social Securities are our concerns.
Thank you. Give it up for group. Like education and a variety of different reasons, but like specifically curriculum in the state of Florida being maybe forced into the turning point, you know, base teachings and all the crap that they have going on. If you're going to put that in schools, you're obviously going to have kids and families who don't want to subject their kids to that, and you're just going to create more issues by forcing that curriculum to be put into the schools. And my heart always just goes back to the kids on probation, because that's what I do, is the mental health supervisor at the juvenile jail, and just how many kids are going to get caught up with the new ways that schools are kind of moving about with, I mean, we saw in 2020 and 2021, like gender identity and sexual orientation and critical race theory being opposed, even though there are gay kids and black kids and queer kids in school who deserve to see themselves. But now y'all want to bring this indoctrination that is really just going to make white, straight Christian kids see themselves, and you're completely leaving out like 75% of the kids that you serve. So the curriculum in the schools in the state of Florida that they're trying to put in there. I know that hasn't made its way there yet, but just fighting that whole fascist machine that wants everything to be straight white and Christian for not homosexual about Christianity. That's not what I was saying, but forcing people to be something.
Well, there was a Christianity.
What did they call it in the schools?
Yeah, exactly. Well, the Christianity that we see that Donald Trump thinks he's a Christian.
Specifically.
And his spiritual advisor, who I'm pretty sure is arrested for
Okay.
Recently, as far as Escambia County is #1 in the state of Florida for contaminated soil and land.
Oh, yes.
And number 11 in the nation.
That's not surprising.
In the nation. Now understand what that means, how they discovered this. The amoebas in the water. The amoebas, microscopic things we cannot see. If I go get a glass of water out of the faucet we fill in Warrenton, it's murky and cloudy. If we don't use a Brita filter, I would challenge our elected officials to drink it. Brother Lumen, may I know?
We don't drink it.
We talked often, but he's not here.
We don't drink that.
Nobody should drink it. But it's Flint, Michigan. It's Jackson, Mississippi. That's Cold Florida, Escambia County. But 11th in the nation, the amoebas do not feed the small plankton, which do not feed the small fish, which do not feed the large fish, which the birds of prey and the other predators. It affects the whole ecosystem down to what we drink and how we think, and the kids and ourselves, what we consume.
Thank you for that. So now, like, I love to hear problems and concerns, but I also like to hear some solutions or some suggestions on some things that, like, how you plan on changing, how you think they should change. Even if you feel like you necessarily can't do it right now, right? And so, gonna give you all, I see it's almost 7:30. We're gonna give you all 10 minutes to kind of talk amongst yourself, and then we won't necessarily come up and share. You can just kind of like shout some of it out, and I'm gonna drop, I'm gonna jot it down and that type of stuff, and then we'll close out and wrap up. But as an organizer, I am gonna have a call to action for you all, because I can't let you all leave without us taking an action and actually doing something to help improve our qualities of life. So I'm gonna give y'all 10 minutes.
So you said it's another place that has free lunch? All the children, I'm not talking about.
Oh, no, I just mean in general. No, I don't.
Talking about
I don't know anyone that gets free lunch. I mean, from even to high school, the older you get, you don't have free lunch. Especially teenagers, they're going to steal food. They're going to steal things people commit crime out of the need, and then now you introduce them to the criminal
And
justice.
they're gonna be healthier, and they're gonna
Yeah,
be
they're
smarter,
gonna think better,
all sorts of things.
test better.
Talk about, you know, I mean, I'm getting free lunch, you know I'm getting free lunch, you might say something, you know, that make me feel, you know.
Other.
Oh, she getting free lunch, but not all of the children, that's the reason.
And so nobody knows.
It's like a level playing field there.
Free lunch, free food.
So we're trying to solve some of these issues. So what are we gonna do? Okay. Okay, so.
I think free lunch would help with some maybe policing issues.
Some of the money that's going to leave this state is through capital gains because they have passed a law, from what I understand, that nobody's going to have to pay capital gains anymore. And so you know who that benefits. It's not you and me. You know, it's
I'm not even familiar with that. I think it just so doesn't apply to me or benefit me. I don't even know what that is.
Capital gains is when you sell a piece of property and you make money, and if you don't reinvest that money into another property and you make over a certain amount, and if it's personal property, you have, I think you can make a certain amount. If it's a business and you sell it and you don't reinvest it, then anything you make is considered capital gains that you didn't do upkeep, like a new furnace and things like that. And so you have to pay tax on it. So now you're going to have all these landlords. I'm picking on landlords, and I was a landlord, but anyway.
I've had an ethical landlord before, so it's like.
Or anybody that has a business can now turn around and sell that business or that building that the business is in, and not have to pay tax on the money they make.
Okay. I have to pay taxes
On everything, yes.
But they have
So you've got people who are non-binary, you've got people with different ways, they have different faiths. They are still important in this entire process, and we have to get buy-in. And I think that's been a barrier to a lot because we don't want to. And I will say a lot of this is the division, is the lack of inclusivity. When we can just, instead of being like, well, we're gonna put your issues on the back burner. No, this is a human issue, and we need to get together and figure out how we can do X, Y, and Z without me being blinded by who you are or what you believe. And say, look, when we educate ourselves on these particular issues, this is when we can come together and agree, all right, we're going to sit down and talk about all of these amendments. We're going to sit down and talk about what this whole local process, who is your council, what is a council, you know, and start really educating the entire community on what happens and show them this is what happens, these are the demographics. This county was won by 200 votes. This county was won by 50 votes. And have clear evidence of voting works and your vote matters. You know, two wings on the same. Okay, yeah, great, but at the same time, these local elections are important. You want this popular, this is the person that you call. So education, I think, is the case. Have like a comprehensive curriculum developed for just regular Joe Schmo, you know, so that we can understand what's going on in local elections. Why does your vote matter? You know, make it simple. More not.
and they're not even in our state. But outside of District 1, we don't know any of those. And yet they're supposed to be
representing the state.
I'm not.
And a lot of times when we try to vote, sometimes we just go to the other party because we don't even know who it is. And that may not necessarily always be the best person, but because that's what we do. And talk to us.
For the big crowd, and then come and want to speak instead of waiting to come to the church on the pastor's anniversary and church anniversary and want to stand up in front of a full congregation, but to get out and to go around the state. And that's how that guy was. He was Charlie Kirk. He was going out to the universities. Why did we not have representatives going out to the universities? The last one that I had that I remember that was the leader, not NAACP. It was what is the guy's name? The one that got shot and killed. He went to all of the universities.
Fred Hampton? Some Fred Hampton?
No. He was like a civil rights. He was a Muslim. What was his name? Malcolm X. I just had a senior moment. But I remember when he went out and he went to the universities. He spoke to the young people. He got them lifted up and encouraged. That's why he had such a big movement of getting all these young black men to join the Muslim faith, because he got out there and he went into the colleges and he spoke with them. Why don't any of our representatives get out and go to the colleges? Not just the black colleges, but the white colleges, all of the colleges, and speak to these young people, because they're the ones that's going to make the difference. Most of us are on our way out here. You know, we got more years behind us than we got in front of us. So again, a lot of this has to do with the people empowered to make the changes. You know, we have the power with our vote, but those that are in power, they have to take on more responsibility and start making some changes, getting out here and doing the work, not sitting up in the Capitol in Tallahassee or in Washington, but get out here and let your feet hit the ground like she's doing now. Now, what she's doing, this is awesome, but more people should be here. If I had not gotten the text on my phone from the Democratic Party or wherever, I wouldn't have known about it. Yeah, more people should be here, and I think that if it had been advertised a little bit better, more people would have been here. But again, the ones that are empowered have to start working a whole lot harder. It's not as easy as it was back in the day. You know, even during the civil rights movement, we as black people listen to our leaders. It ain't that easy no more. This generation, you got to prove it to them. You can't just tell them, son, do this because I said do it, or do this because I say so. No, you got to prove it to them. You got to show them in black and white. So these politicians need to get up and get out. You know, and I think that would really help as far as drawing some solutions into people understanding more how politics work.
Y'all into it, and I love it. So let's hear some of your ideas. You don't have to come up, but like let's shout them out. Like, what are some things that you all think can help our lives become better?
Abolition.
Anytime that abolition wants money, wants not to pay taxes.
I'm sorry, hold on. Okay, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Okay, the time period that he's not paying taxes, he or she, they have to provide affordable housing in that development. And so if they want to not pay taxes for 30 years, well, for 30 years, you're going to have affordable housing. And I'm not talking $1,000, the medium supposedly income of the area. It needs to be truly affordable housing, which is probably more around $600.
So some set asides for affordable housing. Okay, thank you. Anyone else?
My granddaughter is in, my grandbaby's in Daphne, Alabama. And my daughter, told us that they're having free lunch, free food for the children. It's the elementary and middle school. Because the reason why they're doing that, because some of the children, they'll say, oh, they're getting free lunch. Oh, you getting free lunch, It's kind of like I can't say the word, but it's kind of make you feel kind of like inferior because and it's like a bully thing with the children doing. Oh, you getting free lunch. So now all of the children getting free lunch. I don't care if you're rich or poor. In the elementary school and middle school, they should get free lunch. That the elementary school is giving the children free lunch now. I don't care who you are, they all get free lunch, free meals.
I remember being that kid.
So I like that.
I got free a little bit, but then I also remember I would have to pay sometimes 40 cents. And I used to be so ashamed, so I totally understand where you're coming from when you said that. Anyone over here had any ideas?
More people like you.
Yeah.
And by that, we discussed our representative being visible.
Yes.
We know we're small in number, it's fine. We're just glad that you are here. Besides, term limits and maybe having some politicians being paid hourly. But also, we discussed, or I rambled on, about a comprehensive curriculum or introduction to the political, to local politics. We had like a Florida YouTube channel where it was, this is Pensacola. Pensacola, this is the local this is the local that, this is the local whatever. Something to combat the apathy that a lot of our young kids have. Because we want them to vote, but a lot of them are apathetic. They're like, well, we're gonna die anyway, the world's going, this is a dumpster fire, so what's the point? How do you combat that? And we just talked about speaking life into our young people, but also becoming very inclusive and seeing them beyond how they present, and knowing that they have potential regardless of what we see. It's what their purpose is that we may not see, that we still have to water them, we still have to shine them.
We sure do.
So those were a couple of things that we discussed.
Thank you.
They need to teach civics in the schools. They need to put civics back in the schools.
Civic literacy now.
People don't, these kids don't even understand the levels of government and what they can't
They don't understand what makes them
So
They
the
don't know
reason,
H2O.
can I explain what I'm sorry?
The requirement for civic literacy now in high school.
I mean, it's really interesting. They want us to start teaching about communism in elementary school. What? Yes, they just passed it. They learned it a few years
Civic
ago.
literacy.
And I'm gonna be real. They don't want us to learn the right stuff.
I know.
And the reason they don't want us to learn the appropriate stuff is so that they can do whatever they want to do. And again, I said I opened my bookstore, and it's not just a bookstore, it's a community hub, right? They ban books, I opened a banned bookstore. And also, I realized they weren't teaching true African American history or true history in general. We teach that at the bookstore. And so it's gonna be, until we're able to change how our government looks, to your point, we gotta do what we did in the old days, right? From what my grandma told me, what happened during civil rights. Because I don't know if folks realize it or not, but we're living in a civil rights moment.
We are.
Right now.
You got to speak up.
And so going back to what I stated earlier in regards to agitating you all, right? And leaving you with a call to action, in this civil rights moment, in a few years, maybe 5 years, maybe 10 years, maybe 15 years, what you gonna tell your grandkids or great-grandkids or whatever, how you showed up in this moment? So I understand to some people right now, it's scary times. And it's chaotic. And some people are fearful, they feel like things will never change. But I think one of the biggest lies ever told is that we don't have the power to change anything. Like that's the biggest lie that has been that was ever told.
That's right.
And so if we cling to hope, even in the darkest moments, like I am a living testament, and many of you all are living testaments, because some of our people come from a place where they were stolen from their land, stripped of their native tongue, threatened to be killed if they learn to read or worship their religion, right? Like, if we cling to hope even in our darkest moments, we can accomplish anything, because we're our ancestors' wildest dreams, right? But I think it's really important to note that we didn't get to a place that we are right now by ourselves, operating in silos. And so it's going to be important for us to come together.
Yes.
Because division is profitable for some people, like really profitable. Because it causes us to fight amongst each other and not look at the people who are really causing the problems. And the people who are causing the problems and the ones that are setting this country up to fail and pushing these policies out of those people who we just talked about. The rich ones, especially the one right now that's trying to become a trillionaire, the world's first trillionaire by the name of Elon Musk.
That's right.
Who had access to our social security numbers and so much more, right? And so they make money off of us pointing the finger at each other, fighting for scraps. It ain't even just regular scraps, it's scraps. And that ain't nothing. And so folks ask, like, okay, like how can we change? Like, I don't know if you all saw this 2 weeks ago, I think 2 weeks ago today, there was some massive movements happening across the country where people, like you said, you want more folks like me who actually talk to people. Like, some of them people got elected when people thought they were never gonna be elected. But they got elected, and I think it's important. Like, I come from movement. I am not a lawyer. I sure am not rich. I wish I had a little bit more money. I got a car that's in the shop that I'm trying to figure out how I'm afford to pay for it to get out, right? But I come from movement, and like you all have the opportunity to actually build a new vision, like that has never existed before. One where we all can just be who we want to be and experience rest and joy, and not exactly and smile, and not have to worry about whether or not we are gonna be able to put food on the table or take our daughter to the doctor.
That's right. Or buy your medicine.
Or buy your medicine. Like, what's wrong with people being able to just live? Like, our lives are revolving around a job. Why should our lives revolve around a job that don't pay us enough? And so it ain't even just a job, it's maybe 2 or 3 or 4 jobs. And so right now, what we are witnessing is there's 2 types of power. There's organized people and there's organized money. And right now, organized money is winning. But throughout history, we have seen that organized people will outwork and overthrow organized money any day, but we gotta get organized. And there are some folks in here, there are some community organizers in here like John, and I saw Hale earlier, and even Dare back there, and some other folks that are actually out doing the work. But like, we gotta have conversations with people who are hurting right now, who, like you all said, just feel like there's nothing is gonna change. When people realize that they deserve so much more, it is by design that we are stressed out and living with trauma right now. But when people realize that they deserve so much more and we can accomplish so much more if we work together, they start getting to work. They do. They buy into it, right? But we gotta talk to them.
Well, I'd like to go back to the point that we have got to be for us. Anybody who don't want that need to be for us. Our tax money buys the books that are in the library, but we can't say what books.
No. We're gonna tell you what your children can read, yes.
And so to your point.
My point is, wait a minute, sir. I'm sorry, but I and my community love these books.
Right.
And we want these books, so we buy no books.
That's right. Unless you're buying what we want you to buy.
We buy no book. Let everybody buy their own book, or if we're gonna do it through the public, then everybody is public and have say.
Sorry, I'm just so captivated by the passion. But I do want to just to kind of piggyback off of that, right? Having the Florida YouTube channel for local education, that's a great idea. What we are doing, because we understand the importance of education and voting rights, American Humanity Mediation, we have what's coming out called Freedom Navigation School. That is to teach the community around civic engagement and organizing our community in partnerships. So we're actually partnering with Black Voters Matter, and a part of the Freedom School, just so you understand, is truly a streetwise 101 where we teach, organize, and activate. So within that, it is a part of knowing your rights and playing the trump card, opening your own business, and understanding how the Black economics work, right? So rejecting labels, and we talk about all of that, and having history and action, and making sure that those things don't disappear, right? We have that knowledge and we don't care.
That's amazing. And so you all have the answers, and you all can actually make things work and to change things. And so I would suggest, and so my call to action is, how many of you all are not a part of organizations that are doing stuff? Are not. So everybody in here is a part of an organization?
No, I'm not.
What are you?
No.
Not, who is not?
An organization like that.
NAACP, an activist group, or, yeah, who's not a part of organizations?
Well, I only recently saw an ad advocating for NAACP.
Okay.
But even the government control the NAACP.
It does, unfortunately.
There are some folks that, kind of infiltrated that type of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
But even then, so it seems like everyone is almost a part of a group, not everyone. So number one, I would say join one of these organizations that are on the ground doing things. Number two, I would say these people that are part of the groups, we got to form some alignment. So what does that mean? That means the groups got to get together and collectively figure out what your agenda is for Escambia County. Orange County is one of the most forward-thinking and progressive counties in the state. And the reason they're that way is because there's different groups on the ground, but they are working together, right? Like, there are some folks who really care about LGBTQ rights. There are some groups that really care about, police accountability. There are some groups that care about women's rights. There are some groups that care about abortion or this and that, right? But there is some things that are intertwined, but they're working together. They decided to organize around a table, create a table, like a theory of change table. And they came together and they said, you know what, let's figure out, and we know it's gonna be tough because we think about all this other stuff that we like, let's figure out what we we can work on together, like what do we need to accomplish to make our county a county that is working for all Orange County residents, right? And so because of them, they were able to do things like win rent stabilization, which was, they saw that the rising cost of rent, like the landlords kept jacking up the rent, and so they won rent stabilization. They put it on the ballot and they won it. Granted, the state of Florida came back later and preempted it, but that's what they won. They also previously won a policy around wage theft, being able to stop wage theft. But that is because people work together. And so we got the ingredients for the brownie. We just gotta mix it up and cook it. Bake it. Sorry, y'all can tell I don't cook. Oh, don't do that, Janice. And so we have the ingredients for the brownie that we want to make. We just gotta put them together and bake it. And so my charge to you this evening is to join an organization, and those organizations need, my charge to the organizational leaders is to get with other organizations and come up with a collective plan. And you also need to be at city council or county commissions. I don't know exactly what y'all got here. Every time they have a meeting. And then if they're having meetings when the majority of people are working, there are people that are retired that have the opportunity or have flexible schedules. I'm sorry, but you gotta go to those meetings if you can, right? And so everybody ain't gonna be on the front lines. Somebody gonna be making sandwiches. Somebody gonna be driving us to the front lines. Somebody gonna be watching the kids while we on the front lines. Somebody just gonna be posting and all of this stuff, but you just gotta figure out what it is and how you wanna show up in this moment. Right? So I don't care how you show up, long as you do, right? And so I'm going to leave you all with this. I got y'all information, number one. I'm going to send you all the email, identify some of the things that you individually are interested in working on, then providing you all with organizations that are in this county that potentially work on those things, right? And then also, oh my goodness. So and also a list of when you have your council meetings or commission meetings and that type of stuff to make sure you go. Also gonna let you all know when we have committee meetings, because they're live and in color right now in Tallahassee, and y'all are close.
December 2nd, gerrymandering?
Yes, December 2nd is, they are looking to, during this legislative session, they're looking towards removing some congressional districts for people that look like us or that care about some of the same issues that we care about. And so it's really important for you all to come to Tallahassee if you can, or do some type of action here to help awake the other people that live in this area about what's happening. Because I am from a county where we lost our congressional district, where they unconstitutionally got rid of a black member, Al Lawson.
Okay.
I can count on one hand, actually I can count on 2 fingers how many times I have seen the guy that replaced him, Aaron Dean. And that's been about 4 years ago.
So you mean he doesn't even come to Tallahassee?
No, in Jacksonville, we don't see him.
So you don't see him in Jacksonville, so he does go to Tallahassee?
No, he's in DC, it's our congressman.
He's chilling.
So,
He's chilling.
yeah, he only goes to areas that look like him. Or that support him as far as a party. And we don't need that. Our communities are hurting too much. We need to talk. Y'all need somebody that's accessible, that y'all can talk to, that respond to your emails, that may not answer your phone calls, but it's gonna call you back, right? And so they're gonna try to do that across the state in 5 more counties, 5 more districts. And that's gonna be devastating, right?
Absolutely.
And then also so my charge to you all is join these organizations that are on the ground doing the work. And organizations that are on the ground, make sure you are having conversations with people right now. Like, we gotta expand outside of our 4 walls and go talk to people. I do food giveaways. And I let people know the reason you need this food in the first place, because of who's in office. John just said, y'all got contaminated soil. I know all about that. The house I grew up in was on a dump site. And so, y'all got contaminated soil. There's people around here that's sick and have cancer. You need to tell them the reason that it's like that is because their elected officials have failed them. And if they want better for them and their kids, they need to get registered to vote and get people out to vote, period. Like, if folks want better, and we can have better, and you can point to some of the wins that we had. We were able to raise the minimum wage because people power. We put it on the ballot in 2018, and we made it so that we can get from, I think it was like $10 and something, or $9 and something, so that we can get to $15 an hour. Although it took incremental steps, but still. But if we didn't do that, it would still be 9-something. I know, but it would still be 9-something. So we are able to change something. And so we're able to point to those things. Like, we got to show people tangible results. We were able to get automatic rights restoration because people came together, put it on the ballot, and voted for it. Granted, again, they took it away some ways in Tallahassee.
Okay, so that's my question to you. If we're doing stuff on the ground and you get stuff done, but you got people behind the scenes figuring already.
They didn't do it behind the scenes. They did it because people didn't go out and vote for those elected officials. They only voted for the issue. So we gotta educate people the same way.
Okay, so what you're saying is we voted on the issue, but the people that we elected didn't agree with that.
Exactly.
We got to vote.
So we got to so we need to
speak for us.
So the voter education probably needs to be candidate education and like.
So you tie people, you tie the candidates to the issue. And what I used to do as a part of Florida Rising, when it was Florida New Majority, like when candidates would come, first of all, we had the community create a pledge. Y'all decided what it was that you wanted. I pledge you, and you made sure every candidate that wanted your support, you gotta sign this pledge. I pledge to not attack public schools or to fully fund public schools. I pledge that I will work to help increase the minimum wage. I pledge this, and this. And you make them sign it. They want your vote.
That's right.
Ask candidates where they stand on the issue. Don't talk to them because they got it. Don't vote for them just because they got a snazzy commercial.
This isn't what they say.
Right?
Follow their vote. Like
Exactly.
Cory Booker says so much shit that he doesn't vote the way that he gets in. Is like all theatrical, and then you're a raging Zionist.
Right, and so you have to, again, do the education, right? And break it down for people. But you all have the power. Create an agenda that you want. And then when candidates come asking for your support, say, do you support this agenda? If you don't support this agenda, we ain't gonna vote for you. And so you go now, you talking to people, you knocking on doors, you hosting events or food giveaways, you asking people, is this the type of agenda that you want? Just regular everyday people, your neighbors. Is this the agenda you want? Yeah. Sign up, let me get your contact information, because when the people coming for our vote, we're gonna make sure that they sign up for this agenda. And if they don't, we ain't gonna support them. That's how you organize. Yes, ma'am?
The one problem in my opinion, we don't even get to see the candidates. They never come here. You are, as far as I know, you're the first one in a long time that has come. So how do we get them?
I am the first one in a long time, but that's because I came from the community. So you all can run for office.
That's what needs to happen. See, that's really what needs to happen from a local level. We need to do something on a local level and push our way up. That's right.
Well, I'm gonna say this just tonight.
That's what needs to happen. I mean, I'm old now, but
in my area, there is actually a meeting going on that was going on pretty much the same time as yours, that the commissioner in my district, Mike Kohler, does have a meeting once a month in Warrenton, of the Warrenton Revitalization Committee, excuse me. So they are doing stuff. Some they are doing stuff, but okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. Last time I was there, I was on personal call there. The other time I was there was only 2 people. Like another time I went, it was 2 people. It's once a month, and they're not concerned about my part of Warrenton. I was talking to my cousin about it today. They're not concerned about my part of Warrenton, but it's not considered Perdido, which is another whole. So I got issues with that.
So can I ask you a question? So you knew about the meeting, right? Did you tell anybody else about the meeting?
I didn't tell anybody else about the meeting. No, I came to.
So have you said the last time you attended a meeting? Did you tell anybody else about that meeting?
No, not about that.
Okay.
I talked to them, but you're right.
So yeah, so we have to assume, and we're gonna get ready to wrap up. So we have to assume it is important to know, to not assume actually. Don't think everybody knows what you know. Talk to your neighbors. How many of y'all know y'all neighbors? How many of y'all talk to your neighbors?
Not about politics.
Everything.
Or just about other stuff. Like, we don't talk to our neighbors the way we used to. How you gonna hold your neighbor accountable for voting for Donald Trump if you, or I'm sorry, voting for someone who doesn't care about your issues if you don't know them?
They try to deny it.
So no, right? But listen, like seriously,
I'm saying,
you can hold people accountable if you know them. You can't tell me what to do and you don't know who I am. And you ain't never broke bread with me.
Oh, that's right.
If you break bread with me, we build a relationship and a rapport, and then you see me put a Trump sign, you like, Angela, this man trying to get rid of Social Security. And you like, what? For real? But if I don't know you, I don't believe you. And another thing, I know that some of those people, like, we feel like they're voting for really dumb stuff, really ignorant stuff. But we want them to vote our way. We cannot talk down on them. We cannot talk down on them if we want them to vote our way and to care about the stuff that we care about. You just cussed me out. You just called me a dummy.
No, I didn't.
You just called me ignorant. Now you telling me to vote this way? What? Forget you. Then y'all meet energy, and nothing gets done. And we live in a divisive country like we do right now.
Yes.
So we got to tone the rhetoric down.
Yes, we do.
Speak facts.
And smile.
And smile. And you know something? You make people even more upset sometimes, the ones who really just don't care about being nice.
I know it. I love it.
Ask my husband. I'm not, I can't, if I get him, you put your dirty socks on the counter. I can't yell at you about it. Like then you gonna start yelling at me about something. So, Jared, didn't I tell you to get those off the counter? Oh, baby said, no big deal. Just make sure you get those. I mean, like you can't match negative energy with energy, right? And I'm gonna leave. Yeah. And I'm gonna leave you all with this, right? And so, first of all, who is going to agree to start talking to people that we don't know about issues we care about? Once a month.
I talk all the time.
Every day. Y'all want to do at least once a month?
Child, every day.
Well, I do it. My neighbor, you know, I put my son down.
Right.
I knew who they were for, most of them.
Exactly.
But when I talked to my neighbor, he was trying to say why he didn't really want to vote for that guy. He thought he did, and his wife and their family wanted to vote for Trump. But he didn't trust him, but he voted for him.
Yeah, he did.
So now you can go back and tell them, like, this is what we got. Now we are facing a time right now where our food, we about to be in a food insecure country because there are crops that are going unpicked because immigrants are being targeted and they don't want to be here and they don't want to be harassed.
Honey.
So that's about to disrupt the food chain.
Yes, it is.
Right?
And everything else.
And so now we are going into we got people in power that are getting into bed with folks who our terrorists literally had somebody there that they brokering a deal with and giving him a fighter jet.
Right
That's
now.
another thing.
Yeah,
Now he's also giving $40 billion to Argentinian farmers and not looking out for our farmers.
That's fine.
And so we put people with those facts and then they start to wake up. And so I'll leave you all with this. From the words of a famous freedom fighter. It is our duty to fight for our freedom. It is our duty to win. We must love and protect, and I'll add, and respect one another. We have nothing to lose but our chains. Our chains are racism. Our chains are anti-Semitism and Islamophobia. Our chains are misogyny and bigotry. Our chains are attacks on public schools and transphobia and homophobia. Our chains are trauma, our inability to rest. It is our duty to fight for our freedom. It is our duty to win. It's our duty to fight for our freedom for those two babies.
Yes.
Look at them.
Yes. I agree. I agree. Yes.
It is our duty to fight for their freedom.
Good Lord.
Yes.
It is our duty to win for them. We must love and protect one another. We have nothing to lose but our chains. Jonathan, I don't know if you want to close us out with anything.
State tour. I do want to let you all know that the American Humanity Mediation Service, in partnership with Black Voters Matter, as a state affiliate, for our 2026 strategic plan, we are focusing on a freedom navigation school to identify and teach aspects of civic engagement when it comes to levels of government, when it comes to police encounters, when it comes to business creation, when it comes to economic development. So all aspects that affect us in community, and being able to put, we got a coalition of about close to 10 organizations that we're bringing into the fold in the partnership with BVM of community partners that we've had help our organizations throughout just the years. So Haley Morissette's organization and mine were heavy involved with Black Voters Matter during the special election cycle, which helped the county turn blue. So we're looking at organizing, building larger, so if there are not organizations you can be a part of, someone can direct you to something that fits your niche. So thank you, Ms. Nixon, thank you, Pensacola, for representing.
So where do you go to get that information?
Building. We hear all the time, Jay Green, my
And
wife
did
and
you
I.
sign in? Did you sign in? And so we'll share, yes. If you signed in, if you have not signed in, make sure you sign in. And he will have, John will get your information and add you to his email list. Don't turn your backs on his emails. Don't just send them to spam and don't delete them. And I'm super excited to let y'all know that I really care about this state. I'm willing to fight for it. I've actually launched an exploratory committee for United States Senate.
Good.
And I think that we can actually work towards building a Florida for all and America all, because I'm tired of us just surviving.
Yeah.
I'm ready for us to start thriving and flourishing. And so I am inviting you all to dream with me. But first we gotta resist so that we can come together and fight back and flourish. So I'm looking forward to being on the front lines with y'all.
So just contact information real quick, personally, and we can outreach anywhere, 850-261-6768. And
say that again.
850-261-6768. As well as outreach at humanitymediation.com. Outreach at humanitymediation.com.
Can you say it one more time?
At outreach at humanity, HUMANITY, mediation, MEDIATION.com. and we can connect you to community partners and resources. And also, I'm very transparent about trauma-informed care. I'm on disability now. I have PTSD, intermittent explosive disorder, bipolar disorder, and I'm functional in society. I go to therapy. There are days that aren't my best. So we'll get back to you at our earliest convenience. My wife helps me a lot. So thank you.
Thank y'all for coming. We are
Two dope boys in the Cadillac. We ain't never been no local jokers. Think we done been here, done been there. And you niggas never there. But for real, I'm thinking Texas. I wanna swing, put some soul selection. Two dope boys in the lab, moving expedition, watching for the ball. This the Fed edition, candy kissing, throwing like Shador. We ain't even missing prime time, 21 flavor. Doors and elevators, levitating, moonwalking, baby. Ain't no hesitating, neighbors helping neighbors. What my neighbors blue, still my favorite.